KSNR Coffin Radio.
Welcome to another exciting episode of Coffin Radio. I'm Heartthrob Rob, and fortunately, today we are saying rest in peace to Trevor Moore. This one hurt me hard, man. Trevor Moore, only 41 years old, as he passed away today. His wife, Aimee, broke the news, who was also, a big-time manager in television as well. She was some sort of producer or something like that. But, dude, I loved Whitest Kids U Know. I loved Trevor Moore. I thought all his stuff was funny. I wasn't one of those Fairweather fans. I wanted to see them so bad when they were going to go on tour. I wanted to see it so bad. I remember finding out about Whitest Kids U Know probably when I was 2008, I think, is when I moved out and started watching that show randomly because it was on IFC. I think that's when their second season started. So I'm really starting from the second season, and that show is fucking hilarious to me. If you have never watched Whitest Kids U Know, you have to. There's just so many sketches on there. But people don't realize Trevor Moore, prior to that, actually got his start as an intern on SNL. To be in the same, environment as some of the greats have come out of, Lorne Michaels runs a tight ship over there. So for you to deal with all that is really crazy. And, Trevor Moore did that as his senior year of college as an internship. So for him to get that ground start, it's pretty crazy. They're New York based with Whitest Kids U Know. And for them to turn that into this, conglomerate or this crazy show where it goes from IFC. And IFC at the time now, it's a good station now. At the time, it was kind of rolling the dice, You just took what you can get. I mean, it's not like they were begging for anything either. It was both beneficial for both parties. And it's just crazy to think of what they were able to pull off. That show now would not be able to stand on TV. That would be canceled so quick. It was just at the early stages still of social media really popping off in 2008, 2009, when it's really going. And I feel like if that show were to go now, it'd be going Instagram crazy, Twitter crazy, whatever you want to put it on. But, Whitest Kids ran for 5 seasons from 2007, 2006 till 2011 when it finally ended. Season 5 had that war on drugs. But if you've never seen some of the sketches on Whitest Kids U Know, they have an Abraham Lincoln one that's really good, the Hitler rap, Grapist always gets me, the Gallon of PCP. It's just crazy sketches. It's almost like as fresh as when In Living Color came out after, 2 decades of SNL. So it's just very different like that to see these 5 characters, these 5 white kids, dress up as guys, girls, just all the craziness they did. The Abraham Lincoln sketch, just everything, the vampire sketch, everything that they've done is just so wild. Nothing that I talk about will bring it justice, but if you've never watched it, or you have watched it, let's talk about it in the comments, tell me what your favorite one is. But if you've never watched it, you have to go look for it. You have to find it. They have plenty of stuff online to really enjoy all of Trevor Moore's, because people don't realize Trevor Moore was a lot of, those guys, it's a 5-man group, but he was the brainchild behind a lot of that. He made a lot of that stuff go into motion. He was really pushing for it. And then when the show finally came to an end, he was also doing Breaking In, a Fox show, did 2 seasons. He was able to get on one of them, God bless. So I'm glad he was able to do his thing. They also did Miss March, that movie. Didn't do too well, but at least you put a movie out. And after that, Trevor does, kind of music-styled stand-up, where he's able to mix both. He gets, Drunk Text to Myself, which has some funny stuff on there. High in Church and The Story of Our Lives. Some of those sketches are Kitty History is on there. Drunk Text to Myself, High in Church, those are obviously the name of the sketches as well. What about Mouthwash? Because the Gays Got Married. What's that one with the robot about his computer? And it just became self-aware. I don't know. He's just got crazy stuff. If you've never heard any of that stuff either, if you're a Whitest Kids U Know fan and you haven't checked out his albums, you really need to, because they got some funny stuff on there too. The Story of Our Times. They have a bunch of stuff on SNL too, or excuse me, on Comedy Central. He was able to go on Comedy Central. They have a lot of his stand-up specials there. It's better when you see it live, or with the whole background to it. It's much funnier. If you've never seen it, you definitely got to check that out. And even in quarantine, man, he was able to make it work. He was doing the Trevor Moore quarantine show, which was doing very well. The guys would go on Instagram Live sometimes. They had a show. They had a podcast going. Unfortunately, I didn't get to watch that as much as I would have liked to, but I think they're hilarious no matter what they're doing, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out now. He actually had a show called Just Roll With It on Disney 2 years ago. Very cool of him. I mean, you're making this Disney money now, Your mind is more than just comedy. You're doing these sketches, this music, all sorts of stuff. Dinosaur rap. They just got so much crazy stuff. And to see him pass, at such a young age at 41 is crazy. They don't know, or at least they haven't released the details of what happened. Everyone is just stating online it is an accident. So I don't know. He doesn't strike me as someone who would, be self-medicating. I didn't see any signs of that, but you never know. Hope it wasn't a suicide either. But, it's so sad to see someone such a comedy genius, such a smart guy, such a pushing it to the limit kind of guy, trying to leave your stamp on the world, and to see him go, underrated as fuck. One of the funniest dudes ever. I wish I would have met him. I really wish I would have. I'm definitely bummed out about it, man. So I've just been YouTubing Whitest Kids U Know clips all day. It's super bummed out. Much love to his wife. He has one child with her. Much love to all the guys at Whitest Kids U Know. Kreger, Sam, Darren. I forget everyone else's name, so sorry to the other guy. My fault. But it's just such a sad thing. Just, rest in peace to Trevor Moore. Rest in peace. Whitest Kids U Know will never be the same. That's for damn sure. But let me know what you guys think, man. We'll talk about the favorite. Let's make this a celebration. Let's talk about, our favorite Whitest Kids U Know sketches. Let me know what you want to talk about. We'll talk about it in the comments. Make sure you, excuse me. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in, like and subscribe. And if you like what you're watching, then hop in the coffin. Follow us on social media at Coffin Radio. Coffin is spelled with a K. And that's all for today.
ASMR Coffin Radio.